Okay, we're live. Continuing the stream, continuing the streak. Did I update? Yeah, okay. All right, so where are we? What are we doing? What's going on? Where did I end last night? I've got a homemade rhubarb simple syrup that I make this time of year when there's fresh rhubarb, which I am mixing with a watermelon, sparkling water, to make a rhubarb watermelon kind of soda, and it is delicious. Just delicious. Hey, Blackfire, hello, hello. You are right on time. Right on time indeed. So, based on what I'm looking at, I can't remember what I was thinking last night when I signed off. If I was thinking, I'm going to prepare for a journey out to the wilds, the edge of the map, but it kind of looks like that. So, yeah. I think I'm gonna make another journey out west, busting up big ol' camps far from civilization, collecting named items. I suppose I could try to cut through this like arc where I haven't explored yet. Seems like a good idea. Looking good on supplies. Still gonna take a bunch of time and tools to repair some damages. So we might just dodge fights for a little bit while going deeper into unexplored territory. This 15 days of food is an utter lie based on just where the fact that we'll be traveling through desert and everything's gonna spoil in like 6 days. So I'm gonna buy some wine because that lasts a long time, and some cured venison. Get the troops something good to eat. Let's make absolutely sure we don't run out of food in a journey far, far from civilization. Whoa, I updated the mods and hooks, whatever, because it said it was out of date, and the mod that I can go like 4x speed. Oh, whoa, mod options is gone. I think, doesn't that normally appear here? I don't even remember, because I don't... Well, I'll go into a battle and we'll just... I might have to restart my game. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, I don't have any... Okay. I'm gonna have to fix that. This might be a stream I cut short to figure that out. I'm not sure. Boy, the game at its default speed, it feels weirdly slow. Oh my god, I gotta do this for weapon swaps. Though I suppose it is delightfully deliberate. I might have to put the old mods and hooks, or whatever it's called. I did save it before I added the new one. But I may have to do that, based on what I'm seeing. God, this is so strange. Which I realize this is like the normal speed of the game. That detail is not lost on me. Okay, that button still works. Oh, wait. Still gonna run this guy down though. Okay. So I'm going to save and quit and start this over with the, let's see, what is it actually even called? It'll prompt me when I launch it. MSU. Mod Standard Utilities, I think. Okay. Launching the game again. I hope this doesn't like screw up my save. Yeah, this is the oh. Okay, there it is. There it appears. It bugged me to download this, so I was like, okay, I can do that. Before I started the stream, and so I updated it, but then it made nothing work. So I may have to update the Swifter, or whatever the name of the mod that speeds up the gameplay. And I also use like one that just shows tooltips, attribute range, and one that shows what the settlement conditions do specifically. For example, ambush trade routes. And also one that to go along with being able to turn to 8x speed, one that will auto pause on seeing enemies on the map. Hey Grib, how's it going? Anyway, I blame Elderel, or whatever his name is. I think he's the architect behind that. I very much appreciate his like quality of life. Hey, Ancient Temple. That's kind of funny that it was in that unexplored place all along. And then for a long time I screwed up the exact order of dialogues. Yeah, nice. You must be Australian, based on the "G'day, mate." All good, mate. I don't know. Or I guess they also say that in the UK, I think, in some contexts. But I used to always do this dialogue wrong. So we'll go in. What? Might as well see. Dust. Okay. Oh, in the UK, but I'm not a Brit. Okay, fair enough. I did a stint teaching English in Korea, and somehow the friend group that I found myself in was all folks from the UK. And because that was the only like native English speakers that I hung out with and socialized with for a really long time, as I spent more time with them, my American accent, like I started changing to speak like a totally bizarre, you know, they were from all over the UK, right? And so they used to joke that Scott from Scotsfordshire has come out because I'd have an accent that had nothing to do with anything British, but obviously that's me like doing a terrible made-up one. But I would start to totally subconsciously speak like a British person. How embarrassing. Or just someone from the UK, I guess, because there was a couple people from Ireland, and like mostly people from like northern UK. Okay, so now I can do my speed up combat. Okay. It was interesting. I loved it there. Korea is a wonderful place. And I've got a lot of friends that are still there. So I will occasionally I want to travel like other places in the world, but then find myself going back to Korea if I ever travel internationally. I can't seem to help it but go back. Okay, I feel pretty good about this arrangement. Yeah, I taught English at a public high school as the native English speaker as part of their like native English speakers program that they've had for quite a while. And it was a really great experience. Not everyone has a great experience with that program. I think it really depends on, one, whether you're actually cut out to be a teacher, but also depends a lot on just the environment you're in. The school, the teachers, everything can really make or break your experience. But I got lucky and had a great experience. I had a principal who like believed in the program, and not all of them do, and I don't blame them because I think there's a lot of really bad English teachers that kind of just couldn't make it back home. But I had a principal who really believed in it. I had students that were pretty genuine in their interest in English. Hey, Bijante. And had a lot of just things fall into place correctly, basically. Well, this battle hopefully will be a good source of pelts, because it'd be nice to get some better attachments to my gear, especially the nimble pieces. And the direwolf pelt attachment is kind of a good one, low-key kind of a good one for fatigue neutrals too, because they like to get surrounded. And then they can apply that debuff aura to more hapless chosen or orcs. Only got enough pelts to make one, so that's too bad. Now they're also a part of the additional fur padding when combined with the unhold, the frozen unhold, the ice unhold. Let's see, and I think I'm just gonna keep pumping resolve there on my companion. yeah, I suppose much like Fearsome, there are some things in this game that just don't do anything against undead, and that's the way it is. But Fearsome is good enough that I'm taking it on a lot of my bros, despite the fact that there's two different types of undead sort of encounters that the perk does literally nothing against, including the kind of capstone fight that I like to do for all my runs, which either speaks to how good Fearsome is or how improperly I evaluate its power. Take your pick. Could be some of each. That's right. I mean, it's funny, but that's when I made my Spear manifesto that I posted to Reddit not that long ago. That was one of the top upvoted comments, was like, but it doesn't do anything, there's not good against the undead. It's like, well, that's true. Against ancient dead anyway. They're not wrong. And yet, Reddit has accepted that Catals are good and do excellent damage. And those are also really bad against undead. At least the ancient dead. So it's like, I don't know. Wow. I didn't expect him to get a kill there. Good job, Lars. Are you... okay. I need to get this guy a long axe. I need to get more long axes for the team, just generally. It's on my list of things I need to make the team just a little stronger. Polearm Mastery is so cheeky, where you can take a step up, take a swing, and then back up. It's very funny to me. Definitely need to remember to swap my tank's shield back to, not back to, but just to a Sipar so we don't damage that one. We don't have the... Well, hopefully I don't lose it. That would be sad. One of them is going to go before him. Damn it. Lost a lot of my named shields to orcs. I think that's something I need to be just more mindful of generally. How do you like, yo, wait, Ekibio. How do I like Thoros hybrids in Monolith? I think they're pretty good. I think they're good if you, trying to think of what they're good if you take bags and belts and you can make use of some of the consumables to help deal with the necro savants. Because like once you've procced 9 lives on a necro savant, you can throw a fire pot. It is a Some Weird Sins inspired playstyle, that's right. I would say that is accurate. I like to play for consistency and win streaks. To me, that's the most interesting way to play the game from a like strategic standpoint. And so since Some Weird Sins has forsaken us and disappeared to faraway lands, nice, good. You and lots of others. I don't know. I'm still a skeptic. I don't know. I had a very limited exposure to it, and it wasn't as exciting to me. But yeah, I plan on win streaking through every single origin, and streaming it all and recording it and whatever. So that's the plan. Yeah, and I have a few. Hey, no, he can stay. They can stay. I mean, Sins was here yesterday. We chatted for a little while. It was pretty nice. Good conversation. But yeah, I have a few sort of. Oh, all right. We're finding. Let's see what this is. We'll take just a little. I have a few other like no cheese rules and a few other like challenge rules that set me apart a little bit. Like I don't repair items for resale, so I won't do this on some of these weapons, which to me, you know, helps increase the sort of length of the mid game and just makes the tedium of not only repairing items but like collecting tools and stuff a lot less burdensome. To me, it's just more fun not to do it. So it also that's something that I didn't know about when I was first playing the game, like as a complete noob, and I thought it was so weird when I did discover it, and it felt very non-intuitive to me, and it was something that I didn't learn until I think I watched some streamer or something. And so that to me felt along the same lines as a lot of my no cheese rule set. Is I want the game to look to a new player like totally normal gameplay that they could emulate on their own. So I mean, that's also true. It doesn't seem like something a mercenary company would do, right? I don't know where we've got this whole you know, caravan of blacksmiths and stuff to fix up all the weapons, but the idea of a bro managing their own and fixing them up as they travel between battles, you know, narratively makes a bit more sense to me. But to each their own. Yeah, well, and that's true too. I think people do sometimes over repair and then think, oh, I got to get back to, you know, they want, if they're thinking of it purely from a monetary perspective, like this is worth the tool cost. They can, it's pretty easy to over repair. I think that's true. Let's see, do I want to go chase those unholds? I think I'm gonna, I really do want the more bone armor plating though. I think I'm just gonna see what I can find for camps up here. But yeah, that is true that people will over repair and it hurts fight density. Because if you run out of tools and you're not fixing up your armor, and so then you can't take the more difficult fights because your armors and weapons are in disrepair, that is bad. So but mine is beyond just like, I mean, strategically it is correct. That if you allow yourself to do it, that you should. Let's see, and I've been here a while ago, and this area when I first discovered it was completely barren, which is insane to me, and so sad because that distance from civilization, such a high chance to drop named items in any camps, but there just aren't any. Alright, yeah. Enjoy, Grib. Yeah. Yeah, I know Slug Zoo and I hang out in his channel for a while. Yeah, I don't think I've seen you on the stream list, Ekibio. Are you like an old school streamer, or maybe just don't do it super frequently? Or maybe at different times, or just not a lot? Yeah, okay. Nice. Yeah, I just started. I was playing for Winstreaks and just like talking about it in the Discord. Yeah, casual streamer, serious player. I mean, I feel like that's how I describe myself too. But yeah, I decided, you know, I'm talking about these win streaks in this way, I like to play the game and blah blah blah. But I figure if I'm really going to play for win streaks and want to have like some sort of living record of it, that I should record it. And so then when I was like, oh, since I'll record it, I may as well stream it. And then as soon as I started streaming it, I discovered, actually, I kind of like it. Like, I like chatting with people, and I think in some sense, needing to rationalize my own decisions does in some ways make me a better player too. Because there might be something that I might do out of habit, and someone will be like, well, why did you take, you know, Colossus this time, but fast adaptation this other time? And you said fast adaptation was good, but why didn't you take it here? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm inconsistent. And then it, you know, gives you a time to think about stuff a bit more objectively. I think I'm just going to go bust this camp and not chase those undead through the mountains. All right, well, good to hear it. Yeah, I do think there is something about Battle Brothers that people who get really into it have, you know, in a lot of ways, similar ways of thinking about things. There's some commonalities there. You have to be a serious kind of sadist to get joy out of this game, and I do. Yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Critical thinking and admitting when you were wrong are crucial skills in Battle Brothers, for sure. I mean, you can... I liken it a lot to one of the other games that I've played the most of in my life, of Dota. And it's pretty clear the people who are constantly like, my teammates are shit, I got unlucky, I can't believe I didn't get to pick this specific hero in the specific role for the specific whatever, and that's why I lost, etc. And the people who have the, a bit more resilient attitude tend to be better, with some notable exceptions. But because there are a few really good Dota players that have total garbage attitudes. So Wagamama, yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, Waga is great, and I agree, he does have that attitude. Oh yeah, this guy's night blind. That's why I at one point gave this guy a different helmet, then cycled it around because it was broken. But yeah, Wagamama has a great attitude. He really does. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a good TA for sure. For sure. It's really incredible watching people who are like super good at certain like high impact mid heroes. Like even when it's maybe not competitively in the meta, people who can play like really good Storm Spirit, it's just incredible watching them. TA's another one. Tinker. A lot of the heroes I'm just not very good at. But I've not played in years. Let's see, I maybe need to do something with this guy and get him out of range of that Geist. Didn't work though. Yeah, all the spirits have a pretty high skill cap. For sure. Yeah, and I did play some Ember Spirit. But eventually, because I wasn't much of a mid player, just did a lot better when I just switched to play in other positions. Dang, this makes me want to play Dota again. That's no good. Alright, my tank is in danger. These weapons are terrible against armor, but he won't last that long, especially with that axe there. So I'm gonna have to go bail him out. I know, yeah, Dota nerds. Dota nerds, get out. Nice. Slardar. That's one of my, thanks, Fallen Hero. One of my good buddies played a lot of Slardar. That was one of his most played heroes. A lot of off lanes, Slardar, Abaddon, etc. I played a lot of specialized heroes in a variety of roles. So like I didn't play very much position 1 like hard carry, but I did play a lot of Spectre. So like if I played carry, I tended to just play that carry, that particular hero. Wow, go tank go. I feel like my best role when I was really hard into Dota was just hard support, like position 4 and position 5. No, it's in someone's pocket right now. It's this guy. So I had a tragic banner loss that happened a couple streams ago actually, and I'm still sort of rebuilding the company. I mean, Bidante, I feel the same way. I also kind of envy people that do that because, I mean, in a sense, yeah, the banner it was sad. But I tend to invest hard in a particular game, which right now is Battle Brothers. It has been for a little while, actually. This one has had some serious staying power. I am very into quick hands. So I think that's partially a result of the fact that I very, very, very disproportionately to other people highly value having dedicated spear specialists that I keep the whole run. And so as a natural result of that, I get more mileage out of having quick hands and having more throwers. But anything that does well in longer fights, I get more value out of, and so quick hands is kind of a natural sort of consequence of that as well. Yeah. Hey now. The Overwhelm Gunner build is fun when you can do it. When you get the right bro. And then he dies. And then you're sad. And then you just get a whole team that's basically second wave bros that are all mostly fatigue neutrals. With a handful of exceptions, but... Yeah, I've got Pathfinder on basically everyone. Maybe everyone now. Yeah, literally everyone except for the tank. And the tank, I will sometimes still take Pathfinder on my tank, but I don't know. Not this time. I love if I can, because I do think that it really sucks when you're fighting a uphill battle in the literal sense, and your tank can't participate because the terrain is bad around them. It sucks. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Legends to me is that there are some really, really, really cool ideas that I like that feel, to me at least, slightly hamstrung by the fact that it feels like the balance is way out of whack, and it kind of loses that sort of beautiful simplicity. Yeah, it ends up kind of a different game. But I like the idea of like an individual bro having their own perk tree. I think that is really cool. making each bro like totally unique. It's cool, but let's see. Do I want to fight these 9 on holds? I mean, maybe I do. But yeah, training the second wave of bros. Honestly, this right now at this stage of the run is to me the most boring part, to be totally honest. But it's sort of the fun autopilot. I don't know. Each fight is its own little dopamine rush of just big bonking hits where you sort of walk over 90% of the fights. Let's see, this guy has the orc necklace, right? He does. Yeah, no, I mean, gear-wise it might look like it, but like I've got like level 6 bros. So I lost a few. I had a really bad fight against Necro Savants that took out my banner and took out my overwhelm gunner that I had. And I had a couple other bros that were pretty bad that I was sort of wanting to replace anyway. So yeah, I mean, from a gear perspective, I mean, I've got like decent-ish forge gears. Some of them are really good. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is like, since this is the first fight or the first run of my win streak, I'm less concerned about the security of the run, so I may just go early. But if I were on like, you know, a 7 win streak, I mean, I'm just gonna keep farming until day 150, which is my sort of personal constraint, purely just to keep the streak alive. Oh yeah, I mean, I know where it is. I can see it on the map already. And I will definitely go there like plenty early. But I've still got lots of time. So definitely want to take the time to properly level up my bros that need it. And also, you know, a few other trips to the wilds to get some crafting components and also to get just some more named gear. Yeah, so I just started streaming and thus recording, and I am uploading these all to a YouTube playlist. And so, I can, let's see, can I get link to playlist? Yeah. Here's the playlist for this current run. And so each successive run I'm going to put on its own playlist. And then it will exist for time immemorial. And the idea is that, like, you know, people who are like, oh, I got unlucky with RNG or whatever, you can be like, okay, there's someone who played through every single origin in the game, completely blind, with extra challenge rules, no cheese, adverse conditions, because shit is going to happen, and it'll be like, and they did it. So it's the ultimate proof of if some, you know, and also this is kind of to prove it to myself that this is possible, because I believe it is. That if you can't achieve it, you just gotta get good. Yeah, I mean, you need a lot of time. this is not gonna be a totally. This is gonna take a while. Make no mistake. See, because this guy, yeah. Yeah, right. Sins' runs are largely all gone by now. Yep, most of them are just Twitch VODs. So I figure I've got a nice big hard drive for doing video work anyway, for music stuff that I do, and so I can store and work with lots of video. It's no problem. I did got myself a nice present of building a nice PC for myself like a year ago, so. Good. Well, I'm glad you're stoked. I mean, it's been fun so far. Yeah, I agree that Battle Brothers information on YouTube, like, and look, there's a few major, you know, Battle Brothers content creators that do have popular stuff on YouTube that I like them as people and as creators, but I don't think that they are, like, I don't know. They're not creating like strategic content that I think is all that interesting or anything like that. Or like, I don't know. So yeah, well, and I'm pretty sure that I first found out about this game from Filthy Robot. That was my first exposure to this game. So I still think he's like, I don't know, seems like a cool person, but watching a lot of his stuff on Battle Brothers strategy, he's like just dead wrong on a lot of things. So his takes were not based. It's true. Top RTS games. That's funny because this is not an RTS game. As a certified RTS game enjoyer. If you search for Slurgy in the context of StarCraft, you'll find plenty of disappointing tournament results. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it probably does. That is something that's really nice about this game, is it? You can probably play it on a potato and it still runs really well. if you're into turn-based games with low PC requirements, Slay the Spire is another great one. I probably only have enough tools for one good fight here, so I think I'm probably not going to do that one. I'm going to check out what these other barb cams look like. This one's more my speed. Yeah, early game is the most interesting and also like the riskiest. Like, yeah. I mean, you've at least got, I do have the early game of this specific run, and I've got a couple others from when I was holding on to a longer win streak. Oh, damn. Yeah. Slay the Spire, Darkest Dungeon 1, and Into the Breach. Those are great games. I actually have never played Darkest Dungeon, which I understand is a personal failing that I should rectify. Should probably bring a thrower in for fighting Chosen. You know, I don't have a... Sometimes. I don't have a set schedule. Life's too chaotic for that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna swap these helmets. So unfortunately, my current strategy is stream whenever I stream. I mean, it's often gonna be around now, because I have a regular day job. But oh sure, yeah, I've got set hours for my work, but I just like I do a lot outside of work. Like I'm a very social person. And I've got like random music projects and other just like stuff that I do in life that will take up my attention in some dedicated way. So let's bust a plethora of Chosen. Nice. Yeah, dude, Jazz is such a mystery to me. As like a self-taught musician that didn't play in that context at all. Yeah, these are some Chosen. So looking at the battlefield right now, what I like to do is leave kind of a, if you have two spear bros kind of in the center of your formation, and you make essentially like a death zone in the center, and then you sort of bait them around the sides, you can take slow, protracted fights where the Chosen just can't keep up. And with Fearsome and other things, they will eventually just break and die. So right now, the things that are top of mind are, where are my spears going to be, and how am I going to sort of fold in my formation or control where I'm going? So right now what I'm looking at doing is letting this particular hex be occupied by a Chosen, and then going in for the kill. So notably, cleavers are going to be going first, and they're going to wait in a lot of cases, because that's just how the Chosen AI goes. And then the ones with the lighter armors are going to go before the heavier armors, and you can usually see that pretty clearly and distinctly. Like for example, this guy right here is going to be faster in the turn order than this guy. So I know he'll go first and occupy this spot. And so I'm not worried about, you know, this guy, for example, this Chosen, making his way over and doing an attack. And as soon as they move into that dangerous spot, I'm just going to immediately collapse on them and murder the hell out of them. I'm going to retreat along the sides. I might have my tank sit and occupy somewhere. I don't know. I'll make that decision when I come to it. But that's kind of what I'm planning for this fight right now. Also, I want a good spot for my gunner to sit. His spot right now is fine. If I move this spear here, no. If I move the spear here, no. I think I'm just gonna blast from here. Or, you know, I'm just gonna throw twice at the start. Oh my god, I swapped that helmet and... Okay. We're gonna do this. We're gonna drop that. I screwed up there, but it's fine. So I'm gonna retreat with this bowman and, well, thrower, and then move this guy back one. So I can still go to this hex. Oh, but he doesn't have... I guess I can just shield wall. And I will have Lone Wolf active after the other bros move. So I'm going to make that guy earn it. But I don't want my nibble damage dealer to get surrounded, so I'm going to wait here. Again, I'm going to leave that spot as a little death zone. So I'm going to leave this spear right where he's at. Okay, so now this guy's got Lone Wolf active. At least he will at the start of the next round. Or like now, right? So he should last a good long while against these chosen that are going to make contact with him, which looks like it's just going to be those two. So, and of course there's a 1 in 20 chance of any chosen going into a spear wall of making it through, and that's okay. That is not the end of the world. We will survive if that happens. Missing an abundance of 77% plus chance attacks, though. That starts to get untenable if it happens too much. My hybrids are pretty tanky in this run, so if he does make contact with that chosen, I'm totally okay with it. Oh dude, the frontline gunner, that is one of my favorite builds. There's an old Reddit thread from Gravebees that's actually literally from before I played the game, from like sometime in early 2022, where he outlines what he did for the build, and it is so good. It's such a good build. A frontline forge gunner that sort of turns into a fatigue neutral. You think it's meta? I don't know. I mean, it's Not meta in the sense of people consider it to be the standard way of playing the game. It's incredibly good, is what it is. Yeah, it's got high requirements. It asks a lot out of a bro, that's for sure. Speaking of asking a lot out of a bro, I am a little worried about this nimble bro that got chonked in the head by Cleaver there. And again. Ruh-roh. That's not what you want. He's got 9 lives, so he'll be okay. At least he's not going to die in his current state with the bleeds. But I have to bail him out. So he's gonna bleed out and then proc 9 lives and be just fine as long as I don't let him get hit again. And so I won't let him get hit again. How's that for strategy? Nine lives is so good. Nine lives is an incredible perk. There goes 9 lives proccing there. Okay, well, we're definitely going to be needing to get some tools. Let's see, it's just the drummer, right? Yeah. Definitely going to be needing to buy some tools after that fight. Nothing too bad, but definitely took some armor damage on a lot of those fatigue neutrals. So, and we got, that is a beautiful piece of armor, just gorgeous. You love to see it. 347. And that's why we fight these big old camps. All right, gonna give that to one of my fatigue neutrals here. And this piece of armor here that I found, I want to give actually light padding replacement on and give it to a nimble brother, I think. But yeah, that's a good armor. A very, very, very good armor. So in a sense, this is the worst forged armor that I've got, as in the lowest durability, but as previously mentioned, this is so much armor that I kind of want to throw light padding replacement on it and give it to a frontliner. Light padding replacement reduces the fatigue by 20%, so you can make it appropriate for a nimble bro, potentially even nimble forge, like this guy's got, which you only get to do kind of rarely and have it be justified. But with the right armors, you can justify it. But yeah, this is a beautiful piece of armor. I think I'll just go ahead and throw on just a random attachment that I will replace just to get something on there. But yeah, that's excellent. I think I might replace this great axe. I've been waiting for just to replace with a heavy rusty axe. It's just very slightly better against everything that's not unarmored. And I think that's probably all I want to do for any of the gear here. Oh yeah, that's right, I dropped this guy's polearm because, let's see, you know what? Let's give him the new fancy armor. Yeah, it is, I don't know, it's silly, but at the same time it does make it like a resource to use, so from that perspective, I don't know, it can make for interesting decisions of like, you might get an attachment that you're waiting for the right piece of armor for. You should probably use it anyway, but maybe in some cases you can justify saving it. I think that's at least interesting, but I understand that it's frustrating, that's for sure. Alright, yeah, so I need to get back to civilization and get some tools. Not gonna take any fights. Oh my god, 2 champion chosen. Now hold on, I said I wasn't gonna take any fights. I suppose if one of my 2 spears is out of commission, I really can't justify taking this fight. It'd be too risky. But I want to. Champion chosen can get you some really nice gear. It'll probably spawn a patrol or whatever and not be there by the time I come back. Yeah, greed is a sin. If the thing is if the damage were distributed differently, if it weren't one of my spear bros that was really hurt, I totally... Well, now he does have 9 lives. So he's got, you know, there'll be the opportunity to bail him out. So this guy's got to come out. So I'll just put a fatigue neutral in his place. This guy now is fine. Definitely want both throwers, definitely want the gunner. Don't love that. Some chosen, many reavers, some warhounds, 2 chosen champions. This guy's just got a ripped ear. Not even a real injury. Broken nose, not even a real injury. Not for a fatigue neutral anyway. Because he's going to recover the 15 anyway. Yeah, I could wait. It's true. And I could even honestly consider waiting until nighttime. Given the many reavers, that's a lot of throwing weapons. And I've got the Fangshire that I can throw on one of my ranged bros. I can put the Fangshire like here. And wait till nighttime. And then this guy, he's holding a bow, but mostly he'll be a thrower. I think I like that. I actually think this is plenty doable. So I'm gonna chill here. Repair up a bit. Wait for nighttime. And then I think once nighttime comes, enough time will have passed, gain a little durability on the equipment, gain just a little bit of hit points. Okay. Let's see, I can probably... Alright, this guy's still functional. I think that camping, I mean, in vanilla, no, I think in vanilla it is bugged and it does not go any faster. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's true. There are mods that fix it, but then from the perspective of the objective I'm trying to achieve, kind of goes against the heart of it. Of playing a vanilla experience, even if I play with the mods that can speed up the animations of combat. If you're camped at midday. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, because I know that injuries are healed at midday, if they're going to heal, right at the same time as wages are paid. Yeah, yep. And actually, this, now that I think about it, this armor piece, maybe I should make use of somewhere. If there's someone who's got one. No, I think everyone's in good shape. Actually, let's do this. Yeah, no, I think that seems probably correct. I bet that's true. I'm sure you're right on that. All right, let's do this. Let's fight a couple champions. 21 enemies. All right, so there's one of the champions. So that's a named barbarian mace. I'm gonna wait and let more of them move. And there's the other one with a helmet and a hammer, but the helmet's the piece of named gear. So it looks like mostly Reavers in the center. I don't know. I don't think it's too bad. Just because one, he's got bone armor plating. He's got 9 lives. He's got 50 melee defense. Yeah. So I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not. It's a little scary, but it's not. Not insurmountably frightening, I guess, maybe. So I think yeah, exactly. And 3 hits is probably all he's gonna need to take. So I actually think I'm going to step forward with this spear wall here, step up here, spear wall here, push up right through the center, let them come in, control the flanks on these 2 fatigue neutrals, have the gunner support at the bottom at the start, and then in through the middle, have this tank move there. I think that's my game plan. So I'm just going to push forward here. And so since the tank's going to go here, I'm not going to move this guy, like, I'm going to move him down, but I'm not going to move him any closer to up there. And I'm actually even a little worried about the tank, even with Indom standing right in that spot. Ooh, that's good. Hit him in the head, and he doesn't have a very good helmet on, so that's a very good start against that champion. Very good start. Okay. Yeah, they're just mace mastery. I don't like pole maces that much, if we're being honest. It's just mace mastery. And it's mace mastery, or I just don't have long axes on ones with axe mastery. And I want long axes, I just don't have them. I'm gonna let this guy move forward maybe first. Yeah, no, I have no love of pole maces, I just happen to have them, if we're being honest. They were a bit lucky. I think it's still okay. I'm mostly kind of worried about this spear bro standing right up against that cleaver, despite, you know, he's got 9 lives and you know, whatever, but I do have a pocket shield that I could pull out and probably will. So I'm thinking about moving up here and putting this Nimble Forged Bro in kind of a dangerous-ish spot just to do that. So I think I'm going to stab and pull out the shield. Stabbed him in the head. It kind of makes me tempted to do it again. I think that was fine. I'm mostly worried about this tank up here. Because he's dazed and staggered for his recovery turn, which is not good. So I'm going to keep making sure he has Lone Wolf for the melee defense bonus, but I'm going to get that guy in position to throw up there. Only 5% chances to hit on each of these, so we know his melee defense is still holding up at least. %8 on that one, so. He does not have 9 lives. Dang it. But if we can cause these sort of morale cascades to happen and just destroy the morale up top, we'll ensure they stay at that 5% chance to hit, and everything should be just fine. Especially if we got Indom up. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Fractured ribs? Oh no. No. I want to make sure this helmet doesn't escape me. A flail is the literal worst possible thing to have against an enemy with a named helmet, from the perspective of damaging them, but what you gonna do? That's the situation. That's who was handy. Alright, so they wasted all their turns just breaking his shield, which is fine. We'll pull out a new one. The nice thing about them breaking a shield is you gain that fatigue back, which I feel like, I don't know, I won't call it a bug, but that feels kind of incorrect that it does that. Alright, I'm breaking Lone Wolf on that guy to get in next turn and help him. Nice. Broken. I got 2 duelists actually, though they are my. I'll show them to you in a second when the battle's over. It's my spear bros who kind of run double duty, and it's still kind of a work in progress, and I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it. So let's take a look at these results. I'll show you my duelists. Not the greatest helmet. I suppose I should have been able to tell that from looking at it, right? Because there's 2 different types of barbarian named helmet, and this was not the type with horns that can be just insane. Yeah, okay. And then this guy. Oh my, look at that armor ignore. Let's see, what is the range on that? That is almost max. The maximum possible ignore armor roll on a named 2-handed spiked mace is 76. This is 75. Seems good. Damage is, of course, still its default amount, and weapon skills building up less fatigue. This is an excellent mace. So yeah, I'll show you my spear builds are kind of like, I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to do it, but I wanted to do an experiment where they're sort of a double duty type role, where in some fights I can have them just hold the spear and be spear walls like I use them there, and in the other chosen, barb fight, which I think is really, really useful for controlling the battlefield. But there are some fights where that's just not relevant, or I might want to sort of repurpose them into a damage bro mid-fight for some reason. I'm still not settled on the best way of doing it, or if this is better than the spear build I normally do, which is sort of a hybrid with an off-tank, sort of a nimble off-tank in addition to spear bro. So I'm not sure. That's the moral of the story. But these are my sort of duelists. I will always build a duelist around a good named weapon, though, if I've got a bro that's a candidate. But no, I wouldn't take underdog. The build would, let's see, I'm not sharing that window, but I take, it would be, no. So the build would look like, so no cleaver, no duelist, no killing frenzy. That's, and instead it would be shield expert, indom, and probably fortified mind. The off tank is more like you're still not trying to get surrounded. It's not, I don't know. But even that, I mean, maybe underdog is worth taking and then just making him like a proper off-tank. I don't know. Yeah. Bijante likes, not this exact version, but his looks more like this, only obviously this guy went nimble forged because I had good armor. Bijante likes doing this, but instead of forge, take fort mind. Though I think in this is basically Bijante's build, essentially. I think you could probably say, correct me if I'm wrong. Something like this anyway. So but we got some sweet gear to hand out. So this guy already took axe. This guy took axe. I already have a mace here. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I consider best. I'm really not. So this guy has not taken a weapon mastery yet. He's the only one. And he is probably the worst offensively that I have from a melee skill perspective. So what I might do is just give him backstabber as a patch perk. But still give him, I'll still give him that mace. Oops. Even with like, let's say he ends up with like 75 melee skill and backstabber, he'll still hit often enough. He'll still perform well. And it's an incredibly good mace, but it's not like, you know, not insane, right? It's good, but not. Not gonna blow your mind good. Yeah, he's got some ribs he's gonna need to have healed up. Yeah, I think that's true. He could have been given a flail mastery just as an option for a fatigue neutral with lower melee skill. I mean, that's what I did here in addition to brute, and it has worked out very well. I guess I even could have made this banner, who I'm not even, this is not a real banner build, is my replacement that's holds the banner, but otherwise is just going to fight like a fatigue neutral. I could have given this guy the mace mastery too, but I didn't. I'm going to give them polearm, actually, so they can move and hit 2 with the battle standard, and I'm probably going to give them like a sword lance or something. Despite picking up Sin's spiritual legacy, I don't hate sword lances like he does. So I use them happily. Not frequently, but happily. As you can see, I don't have a single one here, but I actually would like one. And is there a use that I have for this helmet? I'm curious what nimble percentage this would be at. 59. That's still really good. I could consider just giving this guy this helmet, and he's kind of like a He's not going to take Forge, but it's kind of like more protective. He's got a pretty low hit point pool-ish. I mean, I don't think I hate it. Yeah, I'll give this guy this helmet. I'm not sure how the math plays out. Taking the nimble percentage up to taking 59% up from 41. But it's a much better helmet. We'll try it. Okay, so now definitely got to get down and get some new tools. I could make a trip up to this noble house and pick on him a little bit. Haven't done that in a while. Yeah, so I pissed off this house up here, and I also pissed off one southern city to get some early guns. It was the right thing to do. All right, I'm not gonna do any of these. I could maybe do a hunt down what terrorizes, but mostly I just want tools. There's not very many, but it is enough at least to fix up the damage that's currently sitting on everything. I'm gonna let this guy's injury heal. Need to get somewhere to sell stuff. This is okay, Stone Keep, but the one downside of this particular seed is there's not very many good cities to sell stuff at, and the ones that are they're like two that are right next to each other that aren't that far from the southern cities. So there's not a single good like city to sell stuff at up here. So alright, well, we're being offered a fresh recruit. You know, if this were day 2, God, I'd be happy with this. But it's day 109. But yeah, Holy War can be really, really scary. Fighting the Southern armies like onesie twosie, where it's on your terms and you know exactly what you're gonna fight against, it's a lot more manageable. And like when I did fight that Southern army, I bought a bunch of fire pots from the same city that I betrayed. Bet they regret that. But, you know, then I was able to use fire pots against their nimble bros, and it worked out well. Alright. I'm gonna buy some overpriced tools, but that's fine. Make another trip down to one of these cities here. Yeah, I think fighting the South is real scary. It is definitely easier to side with the South and fight against the North, that's for sure. Noble armies are a lot more manageable, but they can still be really scary. Like, make no mistake. Alright, this is a pretty good sale price. Definitely just gonna fire sale and basically sell everything. And I don't have anyone with a permanent injury, right? I'm fairly sure I don't. Yeah, nope. Yeah, that's true. Northern armies are a lot more straightforward. The southern ones can definitely, like when they bring mortars and stuff like that, the battlefield is just like a lot harder to figure out, like what to do. Yeah, and that's true. It doesn't help that the quests are, yeah, back-to-back fights against huge stacks of enemies. Absolutely. The ones that are like, oh, defend a city from southern incursion, and you fight the first battle and you're like, okay, I defended the city, and it's like, no, stick around, there's more. It's like, no, I can't take any more. My poor squad. I got shot in the face. Okay, so I'm close enough to the arena that I might head down there and do just a quick little check on the arena. The other thing I could do is hunt lindworms if it's a small enough number. We've got these unhold hides and could make some lindworm scale cloaks, and on some of these pieces of named armor with a lindworm scale cloak, can take an insanely high number of hits in the monolith and hold up just fine against those undead weapons. At the very least, I can accept the quest, and then if it's too many lindworms, I can just takesy backsies. I just don't do it. Alright, I'm gonna do it. We'll take a look. We're gonna see how many lindworms this is. Five. That is right around the number where I was like, maybe we don't. But I think I'm going to anyway. So, make of that what you will. I mean, I've got some really good armors on these frontline bros. And I do have a gunner that if I can get the lindworms arranged just right to be blasting real well, that'll be helpful. I can use a couple strange mushrooms on the nimble damage dealers that are gonna stand back a bit. My kind of duelists here. I probably can keep them in the lineup. I'll just have to be careful about how I position with them. Alright, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna eat some mushrooms. Well, if your forge tank is sick before Monolith, you just wait. If you gave him a bunch of consumables, you just wait. Okay, let's do this. 5 lindworms. More than I wanted to fight, but I think it is manageable. I kind of hate these fights where there's like a single piece of high ground though, because that can make the AI behave strangely regarding that specific piece of high ground, sometimes in ways that I can't predict. Yeah, you just don't wait so close to the deadline. You just wait. Surgeon helps too. I like having Surgeon on a late game company just in case something bad happens anyway. Like something bad could happen in this fight. I'm just debating on what to do exactly this turn, and how exactly I want to meet them, and how much I want to expose my tank to. I don't want to fight. I don't think I want to step up on this high ground here and then let them get a whole first turn, because then I'd have to like protect my gunner by actively getting in melee contact elsewhere. I like kind of don't want to do that. So I guess I'm just gonna wait basically right here. I'm gonna peel my duelists back, or at least peel them down. Yeah. I know, those overwhelmed gunner, that's like the whole, one of the things that I kept talking about that they're good at is helping against lindworms. Okay, I don't hate the way they approach this. I don't hate the way they're lined up. And I'm just gonna hit this lindworm right in melee range despite sprayed with acid right there. Because I can get death blow there. I'm gonna start out with the axes because they do a little bit better against armor. And then I'll switch right to using the javelins. You've returned to just a fun little lindworm fight. And here, I'm going to, just to make sure I've got the melee block chance, shield wall, to make sure those are just little, I was going to say 5%ers, I guess they're 6. They would have been 5 if I had overwhelm. And occupy right up there. Which maybe means I can get this guy in here. It's a little dangerous. I'll probably hold off on bringing this guy forward quite yet. I think this guy's strong enough. Okay, now I think this is a safe enough spot to bring in the cleaver here. Okay. Ooh, ow, 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 ow. All right. Spear Bro here might proc 9 lives. We'll see. Okay. Can't burn his armor if he doesn't have any. That's right. This guy doesn't have any armor. He's sprayed with acid, but he is going to hang out over on the side where it's safe. And actually, this guy similarly, those have a. I don't want to take any risks. So we're gonna hang back a little far there with that guy and with this guy. That guy's still feeling pretty healthy, I think. Oof. I think I took a couple hits there, huh? I suppose now that they've got other targets, I can just hit that guy. I think this guy's fine to stand here. He's still pretty tanky. Same with this guy. He's got enough hit points. And I'm going to send this guy all the way up here. Again, similarly, still a lot of hit points remaining on this guy. As long as I'm careful about not putting any of the bros that got hit too hard into the fight, I think we're okay. Hey, I mean, I can't tell if that's memes or not, but taunt would be useful here. Like, it certainly would be. This is an example of where I think that's legit. Ooh, okay. So did not proc 9 lives yet. He still has 1 hit point. So we've got one attack on Dietmar still that could happen, but let's just not let that happen. How about? There we go. Whew. Easy. Oh, only 1 Lindworm scales. Wow, that was a lot of Lindworms to kill just to be able to craft 1 Lindworm cloak. And Lindworm blood is kind of useless. And Lindworm's horde. That was an expensive fight. That was a very expensive fight. But it was a fun one. And yes, I did get to decapitate the Lindworm. I'm glad that did not go unnoticed. That was a decapitate as the final attack. Well, let's see. We got 3 bad injuries here, but I've got bros in pocket to spare. I think that's the only injury. This guy was already injured, right? So that one. And then, yeah, tools cost. 196. Oh my god. I mean, I guess all the jokes about the bros that were attacking and not taking, you know, not taking any damage to the acid because they didn't have any armor. I mean, you know. Yeah. Still, you know, the run is in a good enough position that some of the fights, they're just for me, you know? That was a fun fight. But yeah. That was something. Alright, so we're going to be laying low for a little bit. I'm gonna go to Sudheim, chill out until dawn. Never mind, I'm just gonna leave. Yeah, exactly, I gotta find the tools. So, I mean, there's always the southern cities, just right down there, as an option, and they'll for sure have something. Ambush trade routes and local holiday. Oof, some expensive tools. Yeah, 3K tool cost is probably pretty close to right. So I think I'm gonna sell. It's a decent sale price. Sell that. The Lindworm blood is what you craft with it is shockingly not that good. And despite the overpriced tools here, I am probably going to buy them just so that more Lindworms. But yeah, I'm gonna buy those tools just so I'm repairing along the road. Plus, like, realistically at this point in the run, money's not that big a deal. Like, I want to buy the big wagon. There's a few other like little, I'll say, luxury purchases that I could make, but they're not that big of a deal. So, alright, good night, Bijante. Do I have someone who's stupid that can race this horse? Or dumb or whatever? I don't think so. I can spend 500 crowns to £500 to improve the mood. Seems good to me. All right, see here we can buy a bunch of tools. Yeah, I definitely want to buy some long axes. Absolutely. I was hoping to find some raiders to fight to get long axes the old-fashioned way, but you know, they just haven't. The raiders that I have fought just haven't had long axes. All right, so I'll take a look at these missions, but really I'm most interested in fighting in the arena. Oh, 2 unholds? Easy peasy. Alright, so I definitely want to bring my banner. And then these two guys have both got 5 victories. I might do it on here and here. 2 defensive bros. Here we go. Looking for a armor to swap over to make this guy start out the fight at least a little healthier. No, see, that guy can't equip this one. Or that one. Okay, that'll work. Alright, let's fight against a couple unholds. Jerk. Okay. Alright, brought that guy's morale back to steady. Okay. And notice on my off turns on the banner, I was bringing the battle standard back up just for higher resolve when he was able to quick hands back to it after attacking with the axe. It's a little thing that probably was irrelevant, but it is a thing to note that happened in that battle. Okay, probably not going to wait for the next arena fight here right now, because I have to heal up my armors. So I'm going to head to Kabira, where there's a taxidermist, and do some crafting. Yeah, it's one of those little mini sweaty optimizations that I was sneaking in. I am going to buy for my polearm bro. I'm going to do something that don't tell some weird sins that on day 111 I'm going to buy a sword lance. Don't tell him. Shh, just a secret. Just between us. Still going to keep the bill hook around though, for a single target. Could also even get a second sword lance for this kind of banner build that I've got here, but we don't talk about the sword lance that I just purchased on day 11. We don't talk about it. I mean, they're good against goblins. There's a lot of fights where the sword lance is really good. The fights where I feel like my squad, with the way I play with spears, oh my. This must be one of those events attached to the Holy War? No, maybe not. What is this one? Yeah, what is your crime exactly? Okay, so I can do, what is your crime exactly? You need to stop this execution and you can gain a thief. Welcome to the company. Yeah. For some reason I thought that that might have been associated with the Holy War. Okay, and I might start already stocking up on a few consumables just to use later. To drink just before it's too bad Alan War still hates me, because could do a caravan across the desert. Yeah, it carries verse. Yeah, if you get early retrieve artifact, and you fight some, and you get the not the sword lance, the what is it called? The undead version of the sword lance. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, one of those on a tempo build is insane. And I will commit that the sword lance remains useful against a lot of different enemies. And with the way I play, with my spears controlling the battlefield to help make fighting against orc warriors and chosen easier, I don't have as much problem against those super heavy armored enemies where sword lances are bad. So for me, 1 or 2 bros with a sword lance actually does balance out my company pretty well. So, alright, definitely going to make a Lindworm scale cloak. Definitely going to make some bone plating. Definitely going to make a direwolf pelt mantle. And let's see where I want to put all of those things. So right now on this particular setup, I'm thinking of putting on bone plating. Goes well with what's going on right now. I think I'm just going to do it. Boom. This guy right here could either take the Lindworm scale cloak or the direwolf pelt mantle. Are there any other? So this guy could use an upgrade, though I don't think I want to use a high value attachment onto this padded leather. Not really. In fact, I can move that over. Ideally, I have the direwolf pelt mantle on a bro that's going to be making plenty of contact with the enemy. I don't even have to use it, I guess. It's less important to me than the Lindworm scale cloak, which is much, much, much better. Which I could put onto this. Which would bring it up to 407? That's insane. That does seem insane. $407 is it's a pretty good number. And right now this has a attachment that is just a throwaway. Yeah, let's do it. Damn, that's some good armor. Damn, that's some good armor. Okay. And the direwolf pelt mantle I might hold on to just for the moment, to see if there's something I want to put on. Maybe a different piece of nimble gear to give my spear / duelist bros, and then I can hand me down that back here. I mean, this guy, truly, it doesn't really matter. If this guy gets an extra 5 durability, so I'm not going to use it there. I could put it on like this decayed coat of plates. That's not terrible. All right, convince myself. Okay. So now, where to? What to do, where to go? Could do a hunt down what terrorizes, but really the only thing I'm usually interested in fighting at this point in the run is hyenas for their attachment, and I don't think I have any bros that really care about that. I do have a few fatigue neutrals that have dodge, and I do think it's probably it's probably worth to put the hyena pelt mantle on them. So that would be an upgrade. I guess I've got quite a few bros with dodge. So sure, I'm gonna take this and we're gonna see what this is. And if it's just a shit ton of serpents, hey, it's hyenas. Great. I say if it's a shit ton of serpents, maybe we just don't do it. Alright, I'm gonna buy some tools before I leave though. Just in case there's something else to fight that somehow I burn through the rest. Alright, nice cute little hyena fight. I'm gonna move my spears to the edge. Hyenas, are you really gonna run all the way around? Are you really gonna do that? There we go. There we go. There we go. Good. Good boy. Oh, oops. Hyenas basically attack with what is essentially a cleaver. A weak cleaver that they attack with like a whole bunch of times. Yeah, kind of like a butcher's cleaver. And I will say, this with the sword lance is very satisfying. Don't tell anyone. Get him, doggy. Yeah, I'm curious actually what the stats of the bite for a hyena are when compared to a butcher's cleaver. I bet they are really close. I'm kind of curious. So their hyena bite does 20 to 35 damage with 25 armor damage and 35 armor penetrating damage causing bleeding. And then a butcher's cleaver does 20 to 35, literally the exact same, 75 armor damage and 25% armor ignore. Yeah, so it is a little bit better armor damage, a little bit better ignore armor. Same damage number, though the butcher's cleaver, if it is double gripped, has a higher base damage number. So, yeah, it's basically a butcher's cleaver. Close enough anyway. It's a kind of a good mental shortcut for how to think of it. All right, and that was and I didn't even comment on it. Love seeing that array of furs for being the loot for that fight, because I absolutely do want these hyena fur mantles to put on pieces of gear for the bros who have dodge, like this bro, for example. And so I could put it over a piece of gear that I already have. Like this adorned heavy mail hauberk is a great piece of gear. And so, you know, it's one I'm going to want to have stick around. So it's a valid, certainly a valid use for the attachment. So if I put it on here, it would make the durability of the item go down from 340 to 315. It would make the fatigue cost less by 4, and then add 15 initiative. So essentially 19 initiative is kind of a way you can think of it. And that would amount to about 3 points of melee defense. And for a bro that has really high melee defense, each additional point is worth more than the previous, and I do think that's worth it. So I do think that'll make the gear better for a bro with dodge. It's not a huge difference, but I think it's there. I could also put it on, I'm kind of looking at this thing. And could give that to like this bro with a super light helmet or something. Could also keep those attachments handy. I'm at the point in the run where I could run into a situation where I get like a named piece of gear, but then I don't have time to find an attachment to put on it. And I want to use it, so I might just use it with like a crappy like plus 20 attachment that I just find, or something that I wasn't able to find at all, and it just goes without an attachment, and that would be a shame. So I think I'll hang on to these for now. Just sort of being conservative with them. I'm going to start stocking up on the really useful potions and maybe a couple fire pots, just to be able to take those into Monolith They're pretty handy, especially on throwers and stuff. And they could be useful in just upcoming fights generally. Like, I don't mind having an arrangement like this with bags and belts. Fire pots are... There's a lot of situations where they're good. If I had found the Goblin City, which Lord knows where that is, I have not found it, and I've uncovered almost the whole map. Goblin City would be an interesting option for a fight to do, where I could make use of the Lion Heart or the Night Owl Elixir. I have found Sunken Library. Could potentially do Sunken Library, though I find it a little sketch sometimes, and I think that's just my own inexperience. And then Black Monolith here is the final target, but we've still got quite a bit of time left and quite a bit of experience left to gain on some of these bros we're training up, and some more opportunities for cool, fun, and interesting fights and gaining some more experience. So that's what I'm gonna do. Could get heavy war dog armor with the unhold hides that I do still have. I could even see if Heldenland is still being afflicted by lindworms, and fight some more of them. Get some more lindworm scale cloaks. I don't hate it. I might do that. So I'm going to hold off on doing anything with those unhold hides for now. So I'm going to head east back to Hikmah, hit up the arena. Can I get there before nighttime? Yes. Oh, and it's their seasonal fair. How lovely. And I don't have anything to sell. Wah wah. When I'm clicking here in a southern city and scrolling through the recruits, I'm looking for assassins with armor for sale, where I want the armor, because it's kind of like basically like a famed nimble armor. Ooh, what's this? It's a pretty good sword. I'm probably not going to buy it, but it's a pretty good sword. If it were cheaper, or I had more money, I'm sure I could find a place for it. But, nah, don't need it. Probably before I leave, I will buy that sword lance to give to my my banner. But 5 nachos, easy peasy. Just got to go at it with the spear bros. And we'll bring the banner. We'll just need to be mindful of the T3s or any, I don't know, things to be mindful of when fighting nachos. Managing the corpses. So there's only one T3. Nachos have 4 AP, just like humans. So I can wait here. The nice thing about using spear bros to fight nachos is you know that if an enemy dies in your zone of control, that, like, you know, they die with corpses automatically protected. And I think this guy's got enough fatigue to work with. I can give that guy a stab. Okay. Oh, damn. Yeah, and I used all his AP, so I can't protect that corpse. That couldn't spawn in this location. Damn. That's disappointing. So the T3 Nacho is T3-er. I guess I do have the option of just sending this guy here, sending the banner up, helping get a better surround. I think that seems fine. Then I'll just go there to... Okay. Right, now we just gotta... you know, I don't know. Most things in the game tend not to be random, and so they'll work where they go like up at the top and then they go around clockwise when they're determining an order for something. I don't know about the corpse spawn when a spot is taken. Like the spot that one spawned at was to the upright instead of just above it, like I would have expected if it followed the logic of other things in the game. Like fleeing attacks, exactly. So, I don't know. That is a good question. I just don't know the answer. Alright, and before I leave this town, I'm going to buy... another sword lance. Yeah, knowing, God, what was there's another thing that was really a very weirdly specific situation that I just learned recently. Oh, Brigand Raiders. There's two different types of Brigand Raider that visually look the exact same. A lower Raider and an upper Raider. And the big difference between them is whether they have weapon masteries or not, and then they have a little bit different stats. You can tell if it's an upper Raider or a lower Raider by looking at hit chance early game, like for example with a crossbow, and you can work backwards to know what their range defense is to determine if they're an upper Raider or a lower Raider. And if they have, for example, a hooked blade or a pike, then you can change strategic decisions based on knowing if they can hit a bro after moving 1 hex or 2 hexes based on whether they have polearm mastery or not. Learned that trick was being discussed today in the Battle Brothers Discord, and that actually is super relevant. I think that comes up, I won't say often, but you know, that's a big deal in those early fights against thugs and raiders. So being able to make that determination just by looking at the hit chance of like a bow or a crossbow or something like that against a raider, and knowing whether you can get close to them or not safely is... That's some super sweaty optimization, but that got me excited. So let's see, do I need this heavy rusty axe? Yeah, and that's the other thing. 1 hit from a polearm can decide a run early game. Absolutely. That is 100% a fact. No, I don't need this heavy rusty axe. I'm gonna sell it. Okay. And I am gonna buy one more set of tools, a little bit of rice, and I'm gonna see if that Lindworm quest is still here in Heldenland. I don't think I canceled it. I think I left it there. Because I might just do it. Heldenland has seen better days. It's currently being burnt down by southern raiders. Can you believe it? Alright, the Lindworm quest is still here, and I am gonna do it. Because I want more Lindworm cloaks. I'm addicted. Three. That is a lot more manageable than 5. Good. Well, I'm very happy to have you here, Kibio. I mean, it sounds like you've got a pretty similar grasp to the game as myself, so that's you're the kind of person that I really like interacting with too. I think the people that I have had showing up here for the sort of sweaty Battle Brothers streaming, like, I don't know, the handful of people that show up here semi-regularly are actually pretty cool folk. Which is someone who like just started streaming recently is kind of cool. It is a small community, that is very true. Oh, and I suppose unaffected by acidic Lindworm blood. That's kind of cool. I didn't even think about that. Oh no, I'm happy to share. It's just kind of gross. I don't have results yet. I pooped in a bucket for the last 2 days. Well, 4 different buckets. But I've had some long-standing GI issues. And I'm finally working on getting some answers to them. I should know my results. Part of my test results will come back within 3 days, and others will be available within 9, and then I'm going to see my provider and make a plan for how to proceed. So, your boy Slurgy got to poop in a bucket for a little while. And hopefully we'll get some stuff figured out. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be what they discover for me too. And, you know, I understand that you're right. It basically is code for I don't know. But I did get a prescription for Imodium that I started taking somewhat just a couple weeks ago. That I did have to stop for the test, which was annoying. And that's been life-changing. I got to take, you know, according to my GI doc, this is not medical advice, I'm not a doctor, but according to my GI doc, the only side effect for Imodium is constipation or being too blocked up. And I just laughed. That's never going to happen to me. I don't have that problem. My GI system is basically a slip and slide. Yeah. Have you tried I mean, I actually, in all seriousness, I do actually eat pretty healthy. But it's partially just an artifact of the fact that I genuinely enjoy the taste of a lot of foods that are considered healthy. So I'm kind of just lucky in that regard. Yeah, I don't think I have Jewish heritage, but I don't know that I don't, just because I think a lot of people in the Midwest with Germanic heritage, Midwest United States, people kind of came from whatever in Germany, and there were a lot of like Ashkenazi Jews or whatever living in Germany at the time. So I don't know that I do, but I don't know that I don't. Yeah, and I tried various elimination diets. I've never noticed an association with any particular food. Like I tried cutting out dairy, I've tried cutting out I mean, basically anything, and it doesn't seem to matter. There's definitely an association with consuming fats, like higher fat equals, you know, more frequent bowel movements, and that is an association I've noticed, and so I try to plan around that. If I'm going to go like on a big trip hiking in a national park or something, I make sure to just like eat very low fat diet to make sure I don't have to embarrassingly poop off the side of a mountain in a national park. Not that I've ever done that more than once. So yeah, but the problem with protein-based eating generally is that most proteins come with a lot of fat. So it can be pretty tough to find good sources of protein that don't also come with a whole bunch of fats. Okay. Dang. Well, if you're trying to gain weight, that is a very good thing. Okay, well I think I'm going to head back down to Hikmah, do a fight in the arena, and head to Kabira, craft another Lindworm attachment, maybe. Or maybe I want to find better armors to attach them to. And I head north looking to pick fights, maybe with some knights or hedge knights up in this northern city, or possibly fighting some more barbarian chosen. I think while I'm down here I should take the opportunity to fight in the arena. Seems like a good idea. Okay, I'm gonna chill here. If you're near an arena town, you can, if you wait overnight, you can sneak in 2 arena fights. One bright and early in the morning when they open, and another in just a minute after that. Six nomads, no problem. Alright, this guy will get up to 5 fights in the arena. This guy will get 5 fights in the arena. Should be no problem to fight 6 nomads. Could be a little tricky if they have too many maces for stuns. I got 2. Yeah, I mean it's vanilla with the exception of and instead of quicker, it's actually swifter, which is like a fix to some of the event speed problems that happened from the original quicker. But or swifter, yeah. I could not think of what it was called. But yeah, so I just, the MSU mods and standard utilities, when I booted up Battle Brothers a little bit ago, I was like, hey, I want to update, there's a new version. So I did that quick, just before the beginning of this stream. And then Swifter didn't load, and so I had to do 1 combat at normal speed before switching back to the old version of the mod standard utilities. Boy, that 1 fight at normal speed against just like 6 orc young, it's painfully slow. Alright, I got a Glad Helmet, which is a very slight downgrade from everything that I've got, basically. So I'm not going to use it. Thanks for the helmet. Just going to sell it. But I'm going to sit here and wait just a bit for day 114 to roll around. There it is. And I get another arena fight. 2 gladiators. Sure. Now, glads can be scary. Definitely have to be careful fighting them. But, so we're definitely going to take this guy, because I want him to keep gaining fights in the arena. I can bring out a couple new fresh meat bros that haven't yet fought in the arena to get them up to 5, maybe. This guy's got 3 arena wins. I can bring him, give him a couple nets. And take him into the fight, or at least a net, which they'll have. They don't have a net for sale? That's too bad. Even as a thrower, he could be useful, though. He's got enough hit points, I'm not too worried about it. But then I want to bring in someone else who's very good. This seems like a pretty good candidate. Definitely try to make this guy face the glads in melee contact. So just in case, I'm going to do a little... Well, maybe not that much armor swapping. And I guess I could always use the blacksmith to pay to repair some of these items, but I think I'll be okay. I don't think I need to micromanage it too much. There, we'll give this guy quite the array of things. He'll have all kinds of tools and fun little trinkets. Only 2 glads anyway, so. Poison that guy. Now I could take this guy all the way up there and get an attack. He's less defensive than this guy, so I probably... I guess that guy can still get... Yeah, we'll do it. They're more likely going to be super excited about getting in melee contact with the thrower anyway. Okay. Wow, commitment. There we go. Okay. 2 glads is a pretty nice, relatively easy fight for where I'm at in things. Normally fighting 2 glads is actually kind of scary. Early on in a campaign, that's one of those fights where the game says, hey, do you want to fight 2 glads? And you say, I'd like to travel north. I like to build them all durable. I don't think footwork is like I think it's fine, but I just prefer to build them real durable. The thing is once you have duelist, even for like orcs that get to your backline, like a dual gripped duelist noble sword, as an example, does so much damage that I prefer to build them more durable so that they can just sit and fight and still do really good damage. So that's kind of how I look at it. The only exception to that is like anatomists, where there's the potion where footwork and rotate cost half. Then I'll consider it. Then I actually think it almost would be a better perk design if they cost half, because the fatigue cost for most of the things that cost fatigue, like taunt, rally, rotate, indom, everything, are just so high adrenaline, that I feel like it's just hard to justify a lot of them. Indom being a big exception. But a lot of the other ones, it's a tough sell. It can work. And for people who find success with it, don't think you're doing anything wrong, because you probably aren't. You're probably doing everything right. Okay, and from here, I'm going to buy even more tools perpetually. Tools forever. And it's nice that the banner gained a little bit of resolve. So now I think it's just a matter of taking some more big fights. And probably I'll head up here to the far north and pick on this noble faction and clear more barbs and chosen. But actually, I think for me, this will be a good place to stop. I'm gonna go hang out with the wife for a bit and play with the dogs, and she had some stuff she was texting me about earlier she wanted to chat about, so I'm gonna do that. So let's see, is anyone else playing any Battle Brothers? Oh, Brendley's playing. He's a pretty swell fella. I think he's playing vanilla right now, which obviously I love to see. I'm not sure. But yeah. We'll go ahead and raid him, and to everyone here, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Ta-ta.